What up, YouTube? Ed coming back with a video. I don't even know what kind of video this is, but this is all about never getting cheated. The unofficial motto of PSA, something that Joe Orlando used to put in every single PSA magazine. Never get cheated, baby. Well, guess what? This guy over here got cheated because I recently purchased another card for my collection. This is from 2024 Select WNBA. This is one of the silver prisms. Got this at auction for, very cheap price, under what it would cost to get the card graded. And I'm going to be honest, didn't look over the card as closely as I normally would, just because the card was such a great price. And when I got the card in, I looked it over and I noticed a pretty sizable defect on the card, despite it being a PSA Gem Mint 10. So here's the card. This is the Kate Martin Silver Prism out of Select. As you can see right there, it's, according to PSA, it's a Gem Minty 10. But as we can see here in the top corner, it's a little difficult to see on camera. It's very noticeable in person. This top right corner here has a print defect that's going from here all the way to here on the card. There it is. You can see it pretty good right there. In person, it's way more noticeable than it is online. The seller's scan, and I don't blame the seller at all. It's not their fault. It's more my fault, and then PSA, somehow this getting through the cracks, which I'll talk a little bit about in just a moment. But I feel like that's pretty noticeable. So this is definitely, in my opinion, it's not a Gem Mint 10 to have a defect like that, because it takes away from the appeal of the card. But still, keeping this card in my collection, again, got it for a very inexpensive price. There's the back of the card in case anyone's interested. But PSA has been in the news a lot. They have a pretty big backlog, so they're up in prices again. It's kind of insane to me that in 2025 we're still dealing with issues that were, back in 2019 and 2020. So this is like 5-6 years of the same old song and dance routine. And I'm going to also have pictures up so you guys can see. So you'll see them here. How long actually are these graders looking at the card? Like I said, PSA currently has a backlog. I don't know how many graders are on the payroll, but from what I've seen from ads that I've seen from PSA out in California, I think they're offering $20 to $25 an hour for grading. That's not really a lot in California, especially with their taxes. That's before they take the taxes out. And as we know, California is the most taxed state in the country. So, man, it's really hard to have a living wage grading cards at PSA, especially when it costs like what, $25 to $35 for just a bulk card, value bulk card to get graded. So for all the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of cards that are getting graded, one of those cards, how long is it being looked at by any of these particular graders? I know we've been asking these questions for years and years and years, but when glaring defects pop up in slabs, it raises the question again. And this isn't a mistake that happened during encapsulation. I know that was going on for quite a while, where cards would get encapsulated and would get damaged in that process. A corner would get bent, the card would get creased, the case would get smashed or something like that. This was clearly on the card before getting encapsulated. So something fell through the cracks as usual. So as collectors, and if you're buying any of these cards, I just think just always look everything over with a fine-tooth comb, even if the deal is very, very appealing and very, very cheap. Just, again, look it over with a fine-tooth comb. because it's in a slab, and we all know this. I'm just what I'm saying is not any groundbreaking revelation to people who have been in this space for a long time, but just figure I'd bring it up. So thanks guys for watching. Any comments, leave them down below, and always remember the mantra: never get cheated.